Shabbat Shalom from Temple Concord. This week our Torah portion is Mishpatim, laws. And after the giving of the Ten Commandments last week, the doors are open, the floodgates are wide open, and out come the laws, fast and furious. And we learn all of these rules that make us unique, that make us sacred, that make us holy. One of the rules that has gotten the most attention, probably the most of almost any rule in the Torah, is this line that an eye for an eye. And our tradition almost immediately changes it. It says, an eye for an eye doesn't mean you should take out the eye of the other person if they knock your eye out, but rather that there should be equal financial compensation. And it becomes a financial deal almost immediately. That's important for a couple of reasons. One, our people weren't quite as barbaric as the text may sound. But second, even greater than that, our people understood that the law that's written isn't necessarily the law you follow, word for word. And that even something as clear as an eye for an eye in the text gets interpreted wildly differently. And that interpretation is shared across the board. It isn't as if the Orthodox believe one thing and the Reform another and the Conservative someplace else. The truth is, as Jews, we all accept that an eye for an eye doesn't mean physical retribution at all, rather it means monetary compensation. And by giving us this early lesson that says, don't take the text so literally, our tradition is teaching us that in a sense, all of us, whether we acknowledge it or not, are Reformed Jews. We're all looking to see how the text makes sense in our context, making it modern and holy and important today as much as it was back then. Now, not everybody will like being told that they're a Reformed Jew. For you and I, it's a nice thing because we are affiliated with a Reformed synagogue. But the truth is, our tradition and our text indicate from the get-go that the text isn't always to be read literally. And that as Jews, one of our obligations is to wrestle and figure out what the text means in our own world, in our own lives. And to make sure that the violence of a particular verse, or the nastiness of a verse, or the exclusion of a particular verse, are not necessarily how we should function day to day. That rather, we should function in a humane way, an ethical way, a way that says we understand the sanctity of this text, but we also understand the sanctity of human living. And we've got to find a middle ground. That's what the Reform movement is all about at its core. It's what all of us, frankly, are all about at our cores as Jews. Our Shabbat services this Friday evening will be at 6 o'clock. Will be followed immediately by a Chinese dinner. We hope you'll join us and call the temple office to sign up. We also are having a special pre-neg, a pre-oneg, sponsored by the Federation in honor of Super Sunday, which is this coming Sunday. So when you get the call from the Federation, I encourage you to give and to dig deeply and give as best as you can. Saturday morning our services are at 11, preceded of course by Torah study and text study. On Sunday, in addition to it being Super Sunday, we have our American Jewish Communities class. And we have a wonderful program in our Goldenberg Cultural Series, a puppet theater that is an extraordinary event, and I hope you'll plan to join us. It will take place at 1 o'clock here at the temple. For now, I wish you a Shabbat that recognizes the interplay between the sacred text as written and the sacred lives we lead now. And I wish you a Shabbat that finds middle ground, ways to take the two opposite poles and bring them together. Shabbat Shalom. Look forward to seeing you at the temple.